What's going on, traders? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Wanted to go over the market on Friday, March 3rd, and what we can look for into the following week. Hell of a day, Friday, of course, and Thursday. We've been talking on the channel last couple of days about that risk to reward, really, as far as the short side being negligible in my opinion, and because we were coming up into this huge downtrend here, and as you can see, the weekly candle had a beautiful push higher right off that trend here. A little bit of a fake break, but this kind of was a zone that we were watching. Beautiful aggressive candle back up, now back over the weekly 920 and 50 again. So look how quickly things can change in this volatile market. On Friday we closed 1.6% up. Final print was 404.19. So there was a small gap here. We kind of filled it pretty much, and there's a couple of other things that we're going to go over. So wanted to start off here with the weekly chart, though. We are still watching, that this momentum to the downside is still in play here. So like I said, bulls are looking a lot better, but they are not out of the water yet. All right, so the other thing I wanted to point out, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think we went over this diamond bottom pattern. I know I posted it on Twitter. I don't recall if we went over it on YouTube, but same situation here on futures. Watching this diamond bottom, a little bit of a fake break here of the trend, but then aggressive move and pushing back up. So we can really get super, bulls are going to be really more excited once we break out of this downtrend, and then we'll have to see about a possible retest and then a push higher, and that would be the best case scenario for the bulls, but we'll see how this develops. Let's go back to SPY really quickly. Okay, so we had this view that we were looking at, and I wanted to bring us to the daily. Okay. Let's just go to what we've been watching here. When we talked about, I remember when we were talking about that downside, I believe on the 28th or so of February, that we'd probably come down, retest this area, and we did come in perfectly here and retested. A little bit of a fake break though, but then yeah, we got that aggressive move. So interesting development here. I took actually a small short position over the weekend. I'm personally thinking that we are going to need to come back and retest 400. Tons of liquidity there, and that is going to be the real sign of how strong this move actually is. But I do think some type of retracement would be likely. Again, how much, I don't know. Another scenario is that we come down and just retest this downtrend that we have been watching here, and then move up higher. So that's another scenario. Again, it was just a smaller position, because it is a counter trend trade, and I don't want to oversize on those type of trades. And I will, of course, son of a gun, of course I will lessen my expectations on them as well. So let me get my cursor going again here. Come on. Okay, I'll redraw that trend. Well, I gotta do this one at least, because we were talking about that BRB. Okay. So yeah, as far as the BRB is concerned, so let's watch for, if price comes down, possibly just only into this, depending on what day we do it, only into, 402, 401, 80 area. So that could be a place where We could pick up some longs and close a short for a move back up to the top of this range. But we want to watch this because, and you can see it better on the when we come in a little bit closer on the time frames. I'll point it out here for you in a second. Okay, just wanted to extend that. If we go in a little bit tighter, let's go to this one. We are starting to poke our heads over a little bit. Come on, zoom in. Okay, sorry about that. We are starting to poke ourselves out a little bit of the wider consolidation range here. So this is also an interesting development. Another scenario, if we don't come back into the range, and I think that would be healthy. I mean, look at this, the angle of attack here, very steep, and I think it would be healthier to come back regardless of my short position. I have no problem about getting stopped out here. But let's also watch, because at least as far as this candle is concerned, we have broken out of that range. So this is definitely a bullish development. We could see something where pops up, comes back and retests here, and then comes back up. Or we could fail right here, come in, back test the trend, and then come back up higher. Like I was saying, depending on which day it happens, the 400 test, which I'm anticipating, could line up perfectly with a nice confluence with this trend line. So that as well, I want to be watching for that, because that definitely, if I get that double 400 whole number test and it lines up with the trend line, well, that's definitely a trade that I'd be interested in taking to the long side. So yeah, but we have to pay attention to this as well. It could just be a fake break of that consolidation. So that's also, that's kind of what I'm thinking. If we look a little bit closer here, the 6 hour already has one candle that's closed over, so that's something to note. Okay, and yeah, so same with the 4. All right, so that's just something we want to watch out for. All right, I also wanted to get into TNX here. We've been watching the 10-year. We were talking about this huge gap up, and we talked about the gap being filled. I didn't think we were going to see it filled so drastically, so quickly. Very interesting developments. However, I have to say, obviously Bostic coming in saying that they were in support of that 25 basis point increase instead of the 50. That of course drove this down. We were watching here. It up in this 40-80 area, and you can see that we basically got what I was talking about as far as that that point of pain here, right into that breakdown. Just a little bit, came up a little bit higher. I mean, I think actually, let's see what the high of this candle was. 40.92. The high of this one was 40.90. So yeah, I did the body. Normally I'm a wick guy, but yeah, basically hit it to a T, and then we saw that sharp reaction. Now we're back, and this is good here. This, we were talking about this potentially being a fake break. Of course, this kind of threw a nail in that theory, but the gap fill certainly came with the fury, and that is a encouraging sign for equities. However, we're, like I was saying earlier, the bulls are not out of the woods. We're coming back. We did break back inside of this area that we've been watching, this potential flag. So, it could show a little bit of a bounce here, come up a little bit, and then maybe head back down into this range. So that's kind of what I might be, anticipating. And that, if we do get one or two, maybe a green candle, a red one, kind of doing a bit of like a bear flag type of situation, that's what I would watch out for. And if we see that green candle, maybe a 50% retracement, maybe back to 40, that 40 area, maybe just a little bit higher, watch for that. and that would probably give us that retracement that I'm talking about in markets, maybe down to that 402, 400 area. So we're gonna have to watch. All right, so that's kind of what I wanted to go over as far as the 10-year was concerned. I think I covered everything. You know, sometimes I make these videos and then I forget something that I wanted to go over. Let's just look really quickly. Yeah, let's see, because we were looking at this as well, and let's look at how this played out. We were watching this falling wedge here. Beautiful move. Yeah, just a really nice breakout. You know, what I would be watching here is if we do see that upside, let's look for that 4080 area, 4084. If this continues, I still think we'll pull back a little bit, but if we pull back and start to flag out, I'd be watching then for that breakout to test this breakdown here, POP. So we'll call it yeah, like 4085, 4084, somewhere in that zone, 4088. So let's watch for that. But really nice developments there on this falling wedge. You know, there's multiple ways to look at this kind of bullish setup that we were coming into. Here's the 4 hour, very, very nice. And oh yeah, so all right, let's get into today's price action a bit. Or no, well, I'm doing this Saturday, but we'll go over Fridays, of course. Nice trend day for us. What did I want to look at here? Oh, here we go. Okay. Cool. All right, pretty easy, obviously, just a squeeze day, trend day, really nice price action, pretty clean, so there's not too much to go over, very basic. And, you know, when we have those a little bit more tricky days where, you know, things go up and down, you know, trading in those type of environments really give us the foundation to take advantage of the days that are like this, you know, when they're really a gift, easy to read price action. You know, those Friday melt ups are great and a lot of fun to capitalize on and then the week strong. So I just made 2 options trades, 1 futures trade. Market, when with our pre-market splash we did before the market opened, you know, we saw this huge move in Globex of continuation overnight, and let me get into that. Let me go back one day so we can see a little bit of that pre-market. So you know, what I was thinking was that, you know, because we had this huge move again up, you know, a very similar situation that I was coming into yesterday, where we had already seen a lot of the move up. And I still was in a bullish context, of course, because we had this huge breakout. But I was looking for a little bit of a pullback at open, and you know, a little bit of a retracement. I thought we would get a little bit of a steeper one. I was looking for a little bit lower, but I could see that that we weren't going to get it, and you know, I was willing to try the pre-market high. And I did. You can also see here when we came down and did that little fake break, we still held over yesterday's high. So that also was going to be kind of a marker for me. If we started a break under yesterday's highs, then I might consider that move down to the 397.55 area, where I either would have, I don't know if I would have traded it short. I probably would have waited for it to come into that area and then gone for the long. But yeah, I could have played the short. You know, you could have played the short on the break of confirmation of that as well. But the risk to reward for me was like $1.30. For me, I'd rather just sit on my hand. I'm not really interested in a trade like that, personally. Anyway, so pretty straightforward day. Just a really great day. Let me expand this really quickly. Okay, so we came down pre-market high break. I took the long when we came and retraced. I didn't take this. I didn't take that move. I waited till we came down. We got into calls right here pre-market, but then it broke through, and I actually didn't wait. I waited, and I got in futures down here. I think I got 40.01 and some change, something like that. And yeah, and then honestly, I scaled along the way and just held. I held my 401 calls all pretty much all day. I took another entry. I was watching this the lunchtime kind of consolidation. So that's pretty typical in these trend days. Obviously people go to lunch and the volume kind of dies down a little bit, and I was just waiting for another flag. So so we got in here, flag, breakout, took some profits, got in again. I might have taken this flag. I don't remember. I'd have to look back. Either way, I got in on one of these flags on some lottos because I just knew how I've seen this day a million times. I know kind of how it plays out, and we were just bears were still trapped off sides from yesterday, and probably some of them kept shorting today against this trend and just gave us that nice melt up. So we have to thank them for that. Anyway, so then because I knew had that feeling of seeing this day so many times, I was actually willing to play some 0 days, which I did. I got into 403 calls. It must have been on this third flag here because I played 403 strike. So I'm thinking I got in on this one at some point in here. But as long as, for me, as long as the highs of the previous break, as far as the highs of the previous breakout didn't break, I'm staying in the trade, and that's just going off the price action. I wasn't, that's not taking any moving averages or anything like that. So for me, I just held, and I took this flag. I mean, this turned to be, I got 230% and like 180% on my options, and I pulled about 50 points out of my futures trade. So it was just really a fantastic day. And then pretty much at the close here, I got out, and then I took some monthly March puts for a little retracement action. So even if it's a couple of bucks, I'll get maybe 30% or something. I'm fine with that. If we get the 400 like I'm thinking, then maybe be 45. Well, we'll see. Again, smaller size because it is a counter trend trade, and so I want to mitigate my risk when I'm doing something like that. But like I went over before, we're at that top of the range, the bigger range. So I'm thinking it could be a bit of a fake break over, and then we come back down into it. If we do the BRB, I'll probably we're gonna have to get under this 403. That's this big level here. I think I was talking about this on the Twitter. Oh no, I forget which one it was. This is 404 here, but I think I was talking about that 403.13. And if we get over that, I would say to watch out for the squeeze. And we did get a nice one. So anyway, so we'll have to see, how this reacts if this goes down. But for me, kind of some areas that I'm looking at projecting next week are, the big test, of course, is going to be 400. But ideally, for more momentum, we're going to have to hold over that key level, that 403.15. We could call it 403 as well. If we hold over that, probably be looking for that 405 pivot. And then if we get over that, probably looking for around 406.85 area. That is another key level for me. And if we can, in fact, break over that, I then would be looking for a 409.55. we could see some trouble in 408's 25 zone, but really the 409.55 would be next, and then we got that big 410. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for, projecting on the upside. Now, if we break, of course, if we break 403, 13, that's going to be, or 15, that's going to be the first warning sign, in my opinion, for that retest. And, you know, we're going to watch, of course, this the bigger downtrend as well. But let me zoom out a little bit. Are we above the value here? Yeah. So if we break that 403.15, I'd be favoring probably, you know, likely to see the 400. However, you know, we're going to have to see, of course, with the with this downtrend and what happens and when we get there. So it might not be Monday, you know, it could be Monday that we bounce up and then retest the top of the range, or maybe Friday's highs and then come back down for the move, kind of doing an M pattern. That's something that could be a possibility. But under that 400 and certainly under 399, probably my eyes will be set back on 397.50, and then if we do get under that, probably that 395.50, 395.55 pivot zone, and if that gives up, 394.20 will be my next short side view. So that's kind of my game plan, my levels, how I'm going to play it. You know, take it with the grain of salt again, just my projections. But I've been pretty happy with kind of the analysis that I've been providing. The information's been playing out so far, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And please like and subscribe, comment if you have, and you can certainly share your opinions as well. I would love to see them, what you guys think about the market. Lastly, you know, we are above value area here, so watch if we do break that value area high over under I guess value area high. Oh wow, so it is pretty extended here on the hourly. Value area high is around that 484, so that is quite a stretch. I believe on the 4-hour we are not, so we're still inside value here, so that is a good sign, at least on the 4-hour chart. Starting to get a little spicy here though on the Momo, a bit oversold, overbought, excuse me. So that is definitely something we want to pay attention to here as this gets up here. So, you know, that's another reason that, you know, to me, besides all the other factors of why I was thinking, you know, we see some type of retracement. How deep, again, I don't know, but we're way above the value area here, and they're going to want to come back inside of it and establish a new potential range. So, all right, that's my thoughts on the market. We do also have some data, the JOLTS jobs. What else do we got? We had a couple of other things. I know I just posted it on my Twitter at _SharkTrader. What else do we got? JOLTS on Wednesday, that could do something. Factory orders, what else we got? I'm not seeing anything that's really sticking out to me, but I could be durable goods. Well, no. I think employment change. I think that's really the most the jobs one. I think is the only thing that really sticks out to me, but we'll see. We have unemployment rate, I guess, on Friday, but nothing that's non-farm payroll Friday at 8:30. So keep an eye on those maybe as well. Otherwise, nothing that's really sticking out. All right, well, I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and take care.